Gulch, probably a mile up from Marysville. And what we're doing up here is that we're looking for Belmont. Several hundred people used to live here at one time. Huge thriving metropolis at the time of Marysville. But where the hell is it? Well, I finally clued in. Let's show you. This is the turnoff. And this slope right here is the actual remains of the town. There used to be a huge boom town right here. Here we're between Silver Creek and the road. This small little, whatever it is, hunk of lumber, that's the only visible wood piles or any kind of structure that is left at all. Considering it's right next to Silver Creek here, I think it might have been some kind of utility building, and there was a mine shed right above it as well, so who knows? I certainly don't. Silver Creek is not very big at this point. The old wagon tracks, now barely recognizable, going through the middle of town, which is right here. You can see some of the stone foundations of past structures and cabins. This main route connects with Marysville, and people still use it. ATVs and the like. I don't know about this puppy today. I'll probably crash it if I tried it, but I'm learning. I found remarkable pieces here, even from small inscribed crystal bottle cap pieces, like bottle tops, things of that nature. You really have to look close. This is likely a barrel band, one of the most common pieces seen around. They're nothing more than just hoops of metal. Some of those are legitimately there to hang on someone's wall, but these are legacy pieces, I believe, and I believe that they should stay there. Unless they're recognizable, it should be saved. Unique time of year because the snow just melted, and obviously there's not a whole hell of a lot of brush covering things. I've had luck where you just simply look at these hillsides, especially where moles. You'll learn that quick if you don't already. Moles will kick things up. What is this? I looked around, but it's just rock. There's a beautiful piece of ornamental from an old wood stove. As I've told the spirits, if I see anything recognizable like this, I want to preserve it. So I'm going to consider this a gift. Here we go, look at this old marble. There are various rules about digging on public land. Actually, they're pretty damn generous. But it's almost better if you just see what comes out of the ground itself. A lot of this stuff is just surface trash that eventually comes out. All right, what else do we have here? Obviously a vintage bottle fragment. If you're actually looking for a midden pit, I found that the best thing to find are old beef bones, chicken bones, things of that, because that shows that it was a regularly used trash pit. Now I did find some the other year, and I left them here for legacy pieces. What have we got? Nose, an extremely eroded axe handle, axe blade. Still, I bet that saw some things. Ooh, it's getting sap on it now. That'll protect it. Thanks. Buckle. And some old spikes. Fragment of a button. I've recovered quite a few of those. We'll leave them there as legacy. Again, good area, courtesy of the moles and the gophers. Modern insulator. Definitely old vintage bottle piece. These open areas where there's dirt in between are also nice. Easy to see the irregularities or the regular patterns that can draw your eye to a relic. Remarkable, these old bottles. Makes you wonder if any are in there intact. Okay, here we go. Something caught my eye here. I hope it's complete. No. Oh, it's just an insulator too. Never mind. There's a square head as well. So I'm poking out here now. Legacy. More here. I'm sure some were horseshoe nails and a larger spike. Now it's just a bigger square nail. I'll leave that for legacy. But again, courtesy of the gophers that just kick it out. Just enough breaks in the breeze to send it up, to crash it. We'll see what happens. More random metal. Likely I pulled that out before. It's pretty thick for a barrel band. And I caught sight of an old hinge or something, pointed out. Now I can't find it to save my life. Never go back for things if you think you know where they are. I thought that was interesting. Just because it turned out to be a doorknob. Probably porcelain. And I know this is interesting. This is also a nice little slope here. This is where I found that bottle cap with the medical cross on it. You can see how some stuff has been just coming out of the ground on this area, out of the trash heaps. Where did I see that? I'll come back to that. There's all these little gopher holes. See what we got here. I'll turn on the camera if I see anything, so you don't have to see me picking through dirt. That's always so fun. Nothing intact yet, but I thought that this was pretty remarkable to show the level of things that are subsurface, subsoil, or just sitting underneath the grass. See the extent of it here, just pieces of everything because of the gophers. Now hopefully I'll get back to you soon with a closer look at something good. We're in the same area. Here, this comes out right away. You can see the regularity there. Suspender clip or garter clip of some kind. These are always interesting because 90% of them end up to be engraved or dated in some way. Just imagine somebody using it on a daily basis. Ends up here 100 some years later. We'll leave that for a legacy. We don't need to take every single one of them. Except we'll probably end up back in the ground. Someone who knows metal would be able to tell whether it is contemporary or not. It's probably old. Is it vintage? lock mechanism or something else. Example here of what could be covered up. Crystal. Sometimes you'll find melted glass after fires. This all would not be seen just from the weeds itself. This. I forgot the designation, but this is an old bottle type. Whoops, there you go. Again, we'll leave it for legacy. But just another example. There's quite a few of those around. Generally, I'll leave them as well unless they're the really old kind of flares red. Well worth the recovery for historical purposes and appreciation. And again, something catches my eye here. Obviously some tin piece. Sometimes these are very ornamental from old candy pieces. Packages, things of that nature. We'll leave this for legacy though. But just an example. An old tin. Just an oddity here. Probably no big deal, but an oddity by this point. Pretty weird. I need a focus lens on this so I can go close up. But I think it's like a sole of a shoe, and those are the, let me look close. They're square metal studs to hold it. That's probably able to be. I'll take a still picture and it can be zoomed in if necessary. Alright, what the hell? Your guess is as good as mine. Why there's a hole in that. I don't know if that's related. Doesn't feel like the same material. This feels like porcelain, as far as I know. Very strange little field right here. My lord, that looks like something was struck. It's supposed to be that law that nature doesn't produce right angles. I guess none of those are true. It's pretty damn close. What's that theory? That's from a small shoe or a lady's shoe. Another reminder, these are people's lives up here. See, this is a really old vintage bottle, probably a milk bottle. Oh hell, I don't know, probably even older than that. You can see the bubble marks in there. Something here called mine. What is this? Handle. Originally there was wood in there and a wood handle. Who knows? Interesting. Wow. We shall recover those. ILLA could be an N to the left, as in vanilla. M. I mean, no, I don't expect to find the pieces like a puzzle. It'll drive me crazy. Obviously, they didn't bother with any mortar. Let's see, one of these rocks is remarkable for this one. A drill hole in that one. In fact, I think they're tougher than this big one as well. Let's go take a look. It. Yes, they're tried out their drills there. Here's one right next to the highway guardrail. Marysville Road and not a highway. I will leave that for legacy. This might be more contemporary though, 60s, 70s. It's nice to be here without all the weeds. Make a clip out of this. Fender.
Pine Grove Music.
Old insulator, one of the big ones.
Pine Grove Music.
As tempting as all this is and all exposed and everything, this was something I was able to look at before, and I think it was all contemporary, as the 1950s, 60s stuff, the very latest, 70s even. Never know. Gophers have anything for us?
Pine Grove Music.
Yeah, they did not mess with mortar. They didn't mess around with anything. It's like pile some rocks and get some shelter. This is metal, so parts of a foundry or something. Some serious mechanics here. That is pretty. These would be legacy pieces. This is, of course, a vintage bottle. The basic one, at least. I see the pontil marks right there. Good example, but we'll leave it as legacy, and obviously a brace piece for building. Who knows? Wedge. Legacy. We'll leave this. Ah! Sorry, ants. You did it for science. Here we are in that upper pit, right by the telephone pole. There's strange stuff here. Poking out. See, heavy metal. More. A lot of fragments of junk kicked up. Maybe all it is. Whatever that is pretty well buried by these rocks. Oh, another hunk of it coming out. Unknown. Just someone smarter than me could recognize what this is. So here's where we ended up after that quick recon without any real digging or anything. We have this, I believe this has to be a tool handle, where a wooden rod came through there, and this was probably filled with wood. I don't know. The small marble, the bottle pieces, nails. We got this metal ring and this really nice piece. Here is what I first found up there, though. I know I got to get a close-up lens. I think I could do a photo scan on this. This is a bottle top, a crystal bottle top, faintly purple, and it has a medical cross on every face. I think I can get a better look at that. And again, I'll do a still picture which can be zoomed in. This is something else I also found out there on an earlier trip. This tool right here. What it looks like is some kind of valve tool, and you can tell how rough it is that they just made it in one of those foundries or blacksmith shop and called it good. What was interesting about it is that when I found this, this is what I saw sticking out of the ground. I thought that it was just a spike or something, and then this entire thing pulled out. Here's an example of another piece I found, not up at Belmont, but down along the creek side on the railroad tracks. I mean, that's incredible. Again, foundry pieces that they make locally. They just pound them out on an anvil and call it good. And this, I believe, is an ore car hook. Again, makes a nice heavy crowbar. But those are beautiful pieces here. And again, if this stuff is just lying around for me to find casually, then obviously there's more out there. So good luck hunting.
Keep digging.